Hey guys, so first thing I want to say, if you are taking the time to watch these videos and go through that Canvas stuff, I promise you in the long run it will pay off. I know you might not feel like watching these on these virtual practice days, but it will be beneficial once we step on the court for you to have some idea of what we are looking at when we're going over these new concepts and things. So today what I want to look at first, and what I'm going to spend this longer video going over, is our zone offense. And the zone offense that we're going to run is called Rover. All right, so in our zone offense, there are a couple things to pay attention to. And I'm going to use these frames to help with that, but we'll get back to that in just a second. Let me get some blank space. I can write here. In Rover, like you can see in the frame, we have a very similar setup to what you would see. I guess it really should be like this. A very similar setup to what you would see in Flow. You can see our 5, we don't call it the dunker spot in Rover. We would call it the short corner when we're playing against a zone. But the 5 is almost in that same dunker spot. Again, we'd call this the short corner. And there would be one on both sides. There'd be a short corner over here on both sides of the block. Now our 1, 2, 3, and 4 are in those top 4 spots that we have in Flow. If we were in Flow, right, we'd have a spot here, 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 and here. And you can see that in Rover, in our zone offense, we fill the top 4. We don't fill these corner spots. So the really nice thing that I like about our zone offense is that in a lot of ways it resembles our man-to-man offense. So it makes it a lot easier to learn. So that's the beginning setup, is our 2 forwards, or I guess our 3 and our 4 would ideally be here on the wings, our 2 and our 1 up top, and then our 5 would be in one of the short corners here or over here. We'd like them to start opposite a ball, but they will move back and forth to both short corners. Now, here are the rules in Rover. First, like I talked about, we are aligned 4 out on the perimeter on any guard to forward pass. So anytime we pass down to one of the wings, it could be either of the wings, but anytime we pass down to the wings on a guard to forward pass, we flash the opposite wing into the mid post. So the ball starts here with number 1, it's passed to 2, then passed down to 3, so that would be a guard to forward pass. Then the opposite side wing flashes into the mid post. When we play a zone offense, our goal is to have a man in the short corner and a guy in this area of the court, which we would call the high post. So we get someone in the short corner by having our 5 go back and forth and flash over. We get somebody in the mid post by having, in this case, this 4-man, our opposite wing, come and fill the high post. So opposite flashes towards the middle, or into the middle, into the high post. And the 5 follows the ball to fill the short corner. When 1 passes to 2, and then the ball goes down to 3, so once our 3-man catches the ball, then the 5 follows, like we said, but also we want our guards then to space back out a little bit. So this 1 would space over here to fill the 4 spot. So that would give us an alignment like what we see here. We have our 5, our 3 with the ball, 2, and then our 1 is spaced out on the other side, kind of as, not exactly like a throw over like what we saw in our press break, but kind of with the idea to space out the defense and make them guard both sides of the court. Now here's the rule. The 4 flashed to the middle, right? The 4 came from the wing and flashed in the middle. Now that 4 is in the middle. The 4 holds in the middle for 2 or 3 seconds just to see if they're open. So they flash. If they are not open on the flash, they'll wait for a 1, 2, 3 count, and then they will exit. Well, the place that they exit, it has to be one of the openings on top. In this case, the opening on top, the guard spot that's open, is where the 1 was. So the 4 will come up and fill the 1 spot. So the 4 will come fill if they are not open. So that would mean that our alignment now looks like this. We have 3, and the 3 has the ball, 2, 4, 1. So we're back to that alignment. 5 is down here. Now obviously, well, maybe not obviously, but in a zone, we don't want to hold on to the ball for a very long time, because if the other team is playing zone, I mean, they probably have guys that are shifted over about like this. Once the zone has shifted over to this side of the court, we want to work to quickly move the ball back to the other side of the court so that the zone needs to shift and move. Again, whenever the ball moves, the zone moves. So we want to have quick ball movement so that the zone has to shift, and that's where our openings are going to be, when that zone moves and when that zone shifts. So if 4 doesn't catch it here in the middle, then the 4 is exiting out so that we can have a quick ball reversal. And ideally, we'd like the 3, or wing, to swing this ball back around to get it into the hands of our other guard, or this guy, that's the 1. Now, we talked about when the ball goes down from the top spot down towards the baseline, then that triggers the opposite guy cutting through. So if the ball is swung around to our 1, then that would mean the 3 now fills the middle. Like you can see here, the 3 now fills the middle. Now that also triggers our 2 to come and space out. Now the 3 will hold in the middle for a 1, 2, 3 count. If they are not open, then they will exit out to be the reverse person. And then we are right back to where we started right here, just different numbers, where we have 4 out and 1 in. Now, what this frame here talks about is that after the 3 flashes in the middle, the 2 dive down here, right? The 2 fanned out and went down. This 4-man can stay here to be the reverse pass, because remember the 1 has the ball. This 4 can stay here to be the reverse pass, or the 4 can fan out and create even more space. If the 4 decides to do that, then the 3 would come up and fill here. Last time, remember, the guy in the middle, where did the guy in the middle go? The guy in the middle, it was the 4. The 4 came out and filled behind the ball. In this case, the guy in the middle comes and fills right in front of the ball. Now, I probably should have said this when we started out, but don't get caught on the numbers. When I talk about the 4 could fan, really it's number 4, player 4 on the diagram, but that doesn't mean that every single time that's going to be our number 4, like our forward, our guy that's our wide runner. The numbers on the diagram just help us keep track of who goes where, but really that number 4 could be our 1, 2, or 3. It could be any of our guards. What I want you to see from here is not try to memorize, okay, the 4 goes here, then he goes here, then he goes here, but I want you to see the overall concept that we are working on. I think that'll become more clear when we look at the film in just a second. Now, last little frame here. If the ball goes down into the 5, then whoever is occupying the mid post would flash to the bucket like a basket cut, flash to the bucket, and we would look to hit them for a layup. If the ball goes to the high post, if we do hit that guard that flashes in, then the 5 goes to the front of the rim, and we need our guard to sink down to the corner to give a good passing angle. So a couple of rules there. Let's take a second to take a look at some film that I think will help clarify. But but then we will get out of here. Let's see, I want this one. Where's my pause button? Oh. No, come back, come back. All right. So first, pause. First, you can see they're in, oh, he's already starting to cut. Nope, come back. First, you can see that they're in the 4 out, the white team is in the 4 out, 1 in alignment. You have 33, 3, and then the guy with the ball, and then the other white. See how they're filling those top 4 spots that we would see in flow. They're not all the way down in the corner. Now they move the ball. Now look, 33 flashed into the middle when the ball went down to the forward. The ball went to the guy on the far side of the screen, so 33 came from the opposite post or from the opposite wing and went to the high post. Now look, the ball was reversed. Now the ball is back down to a forward, and you see the opposite guy flash in. Now you can see the guy up top, the guy in white up top with the sleeve, and then the guy on the wing, they are starting to space out. They're starting to fan out to get out of the way. Now watch where the guy in the middle goes if he doesn't get the ball. Look, he stays. It's someone else's turn to flash, so he gets out of the way. What we just saw, back up. Look, he stays. They swing the ball. He exits out of the middle. Now the ball goes down into the, back up. Ball goes down into our 5. The guy in the middle is going to cut. Watch. Ball goes into the 5. The guy in the middle cuts. Nothing there. They kick it out. What you see at the end of that play, and really this is what we try to get to in Rover, and this is how it's familiar or similar to flow. What we see at the end of that play is after they swing the ball around a couple times, there are gaps. Oh, don't play this yet. There are gaps in the defense. And once there get to be big gaps in that zone after it has to shift a few times, then we are able to drive those gaps and get to the rim. Now, last thing we're going to do is just watch a couple clips here of Yale running this zone offense. Look, they are 4 out, 1 down. This time Yale has the dark jerseys. The ball swung to the wing. The ball swung to number 0, and number 23 flashed to the middle from the opposite wing. You had the 2 guards give space, and now they're looking to swing the ball again. They got it in the high post, and they were able to go down and feed their big. Let's watch them this time. Well, that wasn't a great clip. Look, they are... let's go a little further. Let's go back. Sorry, this is my first time doing the film on the iPad. There we go. Pause. Now in this situation, he's out of the screen on the left-hand side. They have 3 guys out on the wings. They have 1 in the middle and 1, the 5 down low. Now they start with a guy in the middle because of the pressure that Cornell is putting on them. So instead of waiting for the ball to go down to one of the guards, they just tell one of the 4 guys on the outside, hey, you're going to go to the middle right away so that we can help break the pressure. Whoops. Slow motion. Now, once they break the pressure, he stays in the middle. They swing the ball. Swing the ball. Now you can see they're starting to realign to get into what that Rover set should look like. 23 came out of the high post. They're going to establish a 2-guard front. Here they come to start to swing the ball. And look at that quick ball movement. And they get an open three-point shot. Let's watch one more. They're already, I mean, they made one pass down and they have 23 flashing to the middle.
In the hands of Swain, Lehigh starts off in his own defense.
Quick pass, 23 exits out, 5 enters the middle. Ball goes to the high post, swung out.
Shoots a lot of threes. Here's one from Swain, and it's...
So I know that is a lot to take in. I mean, we're trying to introduce a whole offense just by looking at some diagrams in this film. But hopefully this gives you an idea of what we're looking for.